some nimble fingers, Captain.
Here they come!
Great work. Ah, shit. That's a big one. We can tiptoe around to the left or go in guns blazing.
Over here! Oh! That assist was a violation of corporate law if I ever saw one. Since it was to my... You haven't seen Constance, have you?
What in the void are you thinking, creeping around a mannequin like that?
At the time, I was thinking, please don't see me, oh law, I don't want to die, nah nah nah. Now I'm thinking it was stupid to come in here. Killing marauders and hooligans, as I am handsomely paid to do. Of course, as me and Constance discovered, I owe you a debt for saving my neck straight. There's a station up the way. We can talk more there where it's safe. I'll be on my way. Meet me at the camp, and try not to get shot on approach. attacked my crew and dumped me right back in here. Brand calculation slayer.
That's the last of them.
We're alive. Hiram must have sealed the door. He's pretty easy. Can't? We'll see about that. Here's the elevator, but it ain't gonna budge while this place is on lockdown. Guess we keep moving forward. Look for another way up.
Huh? You hiding?
Here they come! Nice work!
Out there, whoever you are, yes, I can see you. Come here and talk to me. Base to intercom. I can't tell if you're brave or simply touched in the head. What in the galaxy are you doing sniffing around my station? Unless you are, in fact, trying to suicide by Marauder? And you, Nyoka, what are you doing lugging a stranger into my station?
You could use the socialization, you son of a bitch. Also, she hired me.
To what purpose? I happen to have some significant problems I am dealing with right now. Marauders, running out of purple berry wine 3 days ago, not being able to bloody broadcast. I see why Nyoka tolerates you. Fine, I'll do the talking. By the hand of fate and my own cunning skill, I run this station. The Marauders may have other plans, and since my hired hands have clearly turned idle, it appears I have need of you. As my newest contractor, you may call me the Broker.
Or we can call you Hiram, on account of that's your damn name, and doubly on the account of the Broker being a dumbass alternative.
What? Everyone calls me that, aside from you. See, Nyoka? I barricaded the broadcast center, but I can only hold out for so long. Clear the Marauders out, and I'll pay you double the going rate. They destroy the transmission equipment, and I'll be out of business. The elevator and doors to the second floor are back online. Hurry before I have to lock them down again. Too many, considering I hired a bunch of no-good mercs to keep them out in the first place. Already, they've caused considerable damage to the station's property. If they take down the aside from the bits, I trade in secrets, valuable ones for my vocation. I'm sure...
Hell of a job.
Hey, elevators to your right. Get ready.
That's the last of them, I think.
Marauder free at last. I'll get the door. Do hurry on in.
Never thought I'd be ecstatic at having the walls painted in blood, but seeing as it's not mine, I'd say this calls for a celebration. My compliments on your improvised utilization of the fire suppressant system. I would expect nothing less from one of Nyoka's associates.
As usual, I'll take that as a compliment.
Of course. This ought to square our debt. One hefty payment for a highly valued service rendered. But I admit, I do wonder why Nyoka has brought you to me. Allow me to pose my question in another manner. Why, in the nebula, are you here? That is the primary goal behind locking myself high in a tower. Some folks don't look kindly on me being a purveyor of delicate information. Phineas must have sent you. He's the only one insane enough to send someone to Monarch to rush me. I knew it was only a matter of time before he came a-knocking. Look, I might be late, but I fulfill my contracts, always.
Oh, you do you? I have lost track of the number of beers you owe me for chasing raptidons off your stoop.
Are you fibbing? Be honest.
I take offense to that. Look, okay. I was delayed by MSI and the Iconoclasts. The idiots were scrambling all transmissions to override each other's broadcasts. But as you've shut them down, I'm back in business. I don't doubt that you are working with Phineas, but my contract specifies I relay any acquired information to the purchaser, and to the purchaser alone. However, to send the data, I will need your assistance in cycling the antenna's receiver, so I can input the needed adjustments. You make it sound so scandalous. Phineas has been in hiding for the past 35 years. He got in touch with Nyoka first, who I use as a physical go-between. The rest is history.
Now you hold on. I do not physically go between anyone but that of my choose. Oh, apologies. You meant, right. Yes, I braved the wilderness, so you don't have to.
Precisely. I really ought to give you a raise. It's simple, truly. I merely need you to waltz outside and throw the lever to cycle the power. I'll key in the numerical adjustments from in here. Someone has trust issues, though I can't hardly feign surprise. Yes, that is all. No, I am not mocking you. Much. Just step outside, flip the switch, depart forever. Understood? Good. Marvelous. We're in agreement.
This is why I stopped helping out around here, you know. It's always throw this lever, shoot that marauder, save my life. Just one thing after another with you.
If that's really all, let's just get it done with and be on our way.
Terrific. I'll be here, waiting with bated breath. Give a shout if the panel electrocutes you. Have some information. Oh, great. I love...
Aw, you called this? I'd normally entertain your self-aggrandizing delusions, but this time it's important.
Important to you is not the same as important to me. Although I do recognize that you may have earned some goodwill during your months laboring for me. Tug on my heartstrings, why don't you? Look, I'll do what I can, all right?
Rebecca Hodges and Anders Wadsworth. They took a UDL contract back when Monarch went to shit, and I need to find them. I believe them to be on Terra too.
If UDL hired 2 hunters back then, it would have been for creature clearing purposes round one of their Spacer's Choice outposts. These are the coordinates for the outpost under the last UDL contract. Now scram. And, good luck. Is that a trick question? Because to answer it, you'd need to pay me. Of course, I could offer you a vastly more interesting bit of data instead. We'll call it an exchange for your... Ask me what... There are so many... If you try to cite me on this, I will deny that MSI's ownership of Monarch is technically legal, but it would give MSI too much power on the board to grant them such status. Exactly. But you didn't... Luckily, they are a curious lot. Insufferable. Some say Graham suffers from nightmares. I would assume it stems from the friends and family. You mean between MSI, the Iconoclasts, and myself? I bet neither of those megalomaniacs... Back when the colony was still Terra 1 and corporations were abandoning us left and right, I'm the one who approached San. I offered them a legal way to take control of the planet. If MSI were the only corporation here... Precisely. The other corporations were fleeing because of the hazard, but MSI had lagged behind, giving Sanjar and Graham an opportunity. Take over MSI, stay... Precisely. Without me, they never would have done more than play Revolution in hushed whispers over scuzzy kale ale. Thus, the bargain was struck. They could run MSI while I would operate Devil's Peak Station. Competing ideologies. Graham believes Sanjar has become corrupted by the corporate lifestyle, that he is now similar to the... And Sanjar has learned the hard way that Graham is quite more... Sanjar is not actually at fault for his past performance reviews, but he can keep hunting for loopholes to get back on the board for the next century. He'll never be Not in his life. For Nebula's sake, even with the loophole I gave him, he's only in charge of MSI because every other exec died during the massacre at Amberhide. Indeed, the information I gather usually is, or it's not. Luck. Not much. I do know this much. There is a sharper side to the good scientist than you'd expect. If allegations are to be believed, the experiments he conducts for the greater good are in fact treasonous and for self-gain. I am not convinced as to the validity of these allegations, considering the source, but I am also not... Look. What? No. Why would I go out of my way to intercept messages from Earth? There's no... Now, if you wanted me to intercept a certain one... How... I'm... Give my...
check, check. Sweet stars. But that is a beautiful sound. Can you hear me? We are a go for broadcast. Oh, and I also dispatched Phineas his data. Impatient prick. Worse, I'm now indebted to him for it. Now I'll kindly thank you to get out of my tower. Look, I am well aware that at times I may have the tiniest iota of a prickly exterior. But as Nyoka can attest, I do not form a
Why, he told us to leave without flinging insults at our persons. He really does.
Captain! Big flaming...
black holes. Did you see that? Looked like a UDL ship. Based on the gunnery attachments, I guess it's one of the board's blockade enforcers, but don't cite me on that. Oh well, a pity for the crew, but I can't see how it affects me.
Hiram? Can you hear me? Did you see that?
Architect, save me from swindlers and fools. Sanjar, what are you bloody doing on my channel? Did MSI or did MSI not cease broadcasting?
Yes, but...
Hiram. Hiram, are you there? Ah, the good captain. The truth brings us together once more. Our salvation has come crashing...
Are you mad? That's a UDL gunship. You'd probably
Ah, I see you learned nothing while dealing with these buffoons.
We could use the gunship's armaments to defend Stellar Bay, but we need its target.
Our message is so close to breaking free of this planet and spreading to the stars. Help us secure the...
Listen, I don't care a single whit what you do, so long as you leave me out of it. Which means, get off my bored damn channel. I'm more than finished with you.
Before you... What can I get you?
what job did the board assign you when you came of age? Bet it was something real neat, like professional flexing.
Wilderness patrol. Plenty of folk traveling on foot out there, even back when there were roads. I protected them from raps and the like.
Oh gosh. And here I was, John, about how I was watching your back. I'm probably more like to get in your way.
Everyone needs someone watching after them. Even me. Even if I ain't keen to admit it sometimes.
Go take a walk, Captain. I'll find you once my head's on straight.
The last of them.
You sure we ought to go this way, Captain? keep an eye on things out here.
Yeah, me too. You have fun, Captain.
Hello, my name's Jen. I'm the chief engineer on this gunship, and I'd like to let the record show that our captain is a total fucking hullhead. I told him again and again that without fixing our regulators, spinning up the engines are going to blow through our coils and we'll go flying off in a completely random direction. Well, here we are. Thinking we'll hit soil in about 30 seconds. This is your chief engineer signing off for what is probably the last time. It's a shame you can't see this middle finger I'm holding up, because I'm doing it as hard as I can.
Captain, Graham's got the right idea, but he isn't the right guy to execute it. I don't even think he's I can't believe I'm even saying this, but I keep going over and over it in my head. Yeah. Hell, most of our... Take Stellar Bay. Lick our wounds. Eventually, figure out how the hell we're going to spread the... Sometimes, you gotta do what's best for someone, even if they think you're wrong. I'm going to confront him. Okay. Deep.
Captain, you must be back with the access codes to our new ship.
Graham, we need to talk.
We have work to do. This isn't the time for one of our spats. Stand down. I'm afraid I don't...
You're running the Iconoclast into the ground, and I don't believe it'll get better after we take Stellar. The troops take orders from me already, and you've brought me as far as you can down the eternal path.
The troops? Listen to you. This isn't an army. They aren't soldiers. They're believers. Followers. They pick up a gun because you tell them to, not because they want to. And you, Captain, after all you've done for me... I built this movement from the ground up. I've brought freedom to Monarch and all the...
I joined because I believed that you were in it for the Iconoclasts. That you wanted nothing more than... But... I know the truth now, Graham. I know what happened in Amber Heights. You didn't start the...
No. I've spent years atoning for my sins. I've studied, meditated, taught. I built the icon...
That's your answer, Graham? You needed a... I'm sorry. I believed in you.
I won't. What happened back then was a mistake, and the colony has moved on. This is my
Please.
If this is where my path ends, I accept it.
So...
Here they come!
Welcome to the Iconoclast, asshole. Well, Captain, here we are. You've got the... Void held me. I'll never remember... I've thought about it, but... I think we're too far gone. Pulling Carlotta... You know, Captain, I never thought about that. Maybe he could be taught the eternal truth. Spread the message from within. All right. If he's willing to talk.
If the Iconoclasts reach that ship first, there won't be any... I don't suppose you've found... They're all mad! And what's more, they left us! Not this...
Remember what we practiced?
Yes. The words in those reviews were very hurtful, but they do not define me. I am a man. You two? Supposing you're right, who exactly would you have me work with? Oh, how do these things ever start? Once upon a time, Graham and I saw the same. But where I wanted to reform MSI, he only wanted to take it apart. As if starving in the wilderness is somehow better than starving under He wouldn't hear reason, and I doubt any of his That's an interesting suggestion. I confess I don't know much about her except that she worked for Rizzo.
There ain't a body on this planet that can keep a group patched up like she has. I don't know how she does it.
I'd be willing to consider it, but I need to see her. One can't be haphazard about these. Besides, if you think her skills will complement mine, then we should see what... Excellent. Her review would be in the Rizzo offices in Cascadia. Bring it to me. Well, because the module... Because once we mount them on Stellar Bay's walls, no Marauder or Raptidon will ever be a threat to us. Stellar Bay will be as secure as any other...
Don't worry. We'll send an engineering team for those later. We'll have to disconnect them from the...
Of course, they'll be useless without that targeting module.
Which is also why we can't let the...
The board's own Salvage and Recovery Clause 32B would say different.
And they won't dare challenge us over this. Not after the data you...
Can you imagine what...
And roll back all the...
This would be... Even if they merely sat on the scraps,
I'm skeptical they'd care enough to wipe us.
Ah, you see our Good, because we... That's surprising. The board's equipment is usually in top shape. After all, they have... A conspiracy? You've... Any luck bringing the iconoclast? I don't like the idea. Very well. Well, it seems like she's actually very qualified.
If it weren't for her, I'd wager the iconoclast would have died off a while ago.
All right. I'll have Celia organize a meeting in neutral territory, the old OSI church in the ruins. Meet us there, and we'll discuss terms.
Hey, thanks.
I wish I'd had more time to prepare a proper analysis on the costs and benefits of your proposed union, but I suppose...
Gotta admit, I really...
Don't fret. The captain here is right honorable. Usually.
Sanjar, Stellar Bay's got food and walls. And my people need both. If you'll have us...
Do you have any idea what that would cost? Why, drawing up the...
Not good enough. I need to move a fair amount of my people into the city. We need shelter. Suppose some of our healthier folk could offer aid. Some of us need to stay in the city proper, though.
Well, I'll be damned. If you two can work together, maybe there's some hope for this place after all.
Truly, a compromise? I'm not sure I'd ever have heard as much from Graham.
Graham was a murderous fiend, and I'd be shocked if you didn't already know that.
This feels like one of those times when everyone at headquarters but me is laughing at something.
Amber Heights, you haulhead. 10 years ago, Graham had all those people killed.
What? That's not possible. Even for him, that's going too far. But that means... I had no idea, I swear. Look, we were both fed up with corporate leadership, but I never guessed he'd do something like that.
I think he's being truthful, Captain. I feel it in my gut. Kinda...
You can't take bureaucrats at their word. You back someone into a corner like this, and they'll say anything to get out of it. Okay.
You know, I felt the same way years ago, when he first left. You know, there was something magnetic about him that let you ignore the things you didn't want. But surely you know what that's like.
Yeah, I do. Okay, if you're willing to house and supply some of us, I'll have our more capable...
As am I. Oh, I can feel my blood pressure low.
Thanks for coming out, Sanjar. Guess I'll see you at
Gotta be honest, Captain. Never thought I'd see the day. You've done a good thing for Monarch here.
Didn't I request no more fertilizer shipments be brought on board? Who's ordering these? Our fuel cells are now primed with Alta Vitae gas. As the organics say, let us hope we do not explode in transit to the groundbreaker. Welcome back, Captain. How can I... Take care.